Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Beastmaster.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Terrorblade.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Tidehunter.
Radiant team pick.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we get started, I want to, of course, give a big shout out to our sponsors. Of course, Global Grandmasters would not be possible if it weren't for the generous support of these sites and these sponsors, of course, including Fanabet.com, Esports Live Scores, Dota 2 Lounge, ProDotA, Go2 Gamers, and Kingwin. So, like we said, extremely grateful for their help. And, of course, let's jump into our last game of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into the Global Grandmasters in our last game of the group stages. Out of 6 today, we're here with our 6th game, which is, of course, Power Rangers versus Kaipi. Game number 2. Kaipi now, well, they need this victory, and they need it in 43 minutes and 17 seconds in order to get to the playoffs. Power Rangers, if they win, no questions asked, they are up immediately to the playoffs alongside Advent from Group B and some other very good teams. In fact, going through the playoff teams for GGM, it's Empire, Escape, Liquid, one of these 2 teams, Alliance Flipside, and Vega and Advent. So some very good squads. And Trent, it looked like Kaipi was pretty close in that last game, but again, the Terrorblade played by Goddamn did more than enough work, and they get it yet again in this game.
Yeah, I have never been so jacked up for the first 4 picks of a game for as long as I can remember.
Oh, you were messaging me like crazy. He was going in, typing like crazy.
I seriously thought when they picked up Beastmaster first, I just thought, man, Power Rangers just wanted to open Terrorblade Timbersaw. That would be something else. But I think they were planning. They were just like, oh, we could do it. You know, we could go for it. They kind of went a little in the reserve time, but they went with that Tidehunter that we just seen. Team go up against the Beastmaster. So just good for that Kraken Shell versus the Roar. Can crush him in the lane if they end up getting matched up against one another. So not too shocking, but it does mean the KP will be getting their Timbersaw. So it certainly did work against the Terrorblade in a couple instances, and we know that this hero is fantastic versus Terrorblade for a variety of reasons. So no real reason to get into that one expected there from KP. But now it's this supporting cast that's going to come out, and all those defensive supports are still left in the pool here.
And we'll have to wait and see how those defensive supports play into the hands of both of these squads, as both these teams could use some supports going their way. Plenty of different options available. Like we talked about, Oracle obviously was a big pickup, although Bamboo didn't quite have the best game, and he played pretty well with some of those good canceled lassos with the False Promise coming up. But there's still other heroes obviously in the pool that can go either side. Looking at our FanaBet live bet odds, KP again in the lead, 1.70 odds going their way, whereas Power Rangers sitting 1.94. Again, it's just the beginning of the draft, so if you have some information that I don't, then congrats to you. But for now, either of these teams can take this best of two series. This is the second game of this two-game series, and I expect to see a close matchup. Hopefully, Kaipi knows that this is a two-game series, and if they don't win this game by 43 minutes, then they'll be out. Hopefully they understand that the playoffs are on the line here, and probably a significant prize pool as well. But we'll wait and see. I mean, right now their lineup's it's not lending itself to an early game oriented sort of team fight push lineup. It's a Beastmaster, which obviously helps in that regard, but the Timbersaw it's still too early to tell, I suppose, Trent, but I'd be surprised to see them pick something that's ultra late game oriented.
Yeah, more than likely. I mean, you got the Beastmaster, nice early aggression with the Air Beast. I'm assuming that coming out of this phase, Pierre will be snagging up that Vengeful Spirit if it's left in. It's just so solid with Terrorblade. It's basically like a Drow strat in 2 heroes. Ridiculously fantastic. Gives you a little bit of swap-up potential versus the Beastmaster too. So
very good dire side as well with Roche.
Yeah, exactly. It's checking off all the boxes for a Vengeful Spirit, right? The only potential downside is that too much versus a Timbersaw.
Hey, good call.
Calls all the picks.
I mean, listen, I'm not saying Trent's a got your gaster, but come on now, guys.
What can I say? What can I say?
I mean, okay, so that's an expected pick, and it's a solid choice for global grandmasters, and swap obviously very good against a lot of heroes, and also picking like a Void into a Vengeful Spirit, and more than likely not happening now for Kaipi, but is there potential to still be able to stop this Terrorblade from running amok in this game? Is there potential to be able to shut him down essentially? Because I feel as though it's not going to be an easy task to stop this Terrorblade from.
Well, you know what's scary is that PR left in the IO, kind of like alright, like do it. You know, they're not afraid of that combination. Once again, if you want to go for it.
Well, it's looking not likely now as the Winter Wyvern comes out.
Not so much. I would be, I think, a little bit surprised. It's kind of bold, the fact that they leave that in with it being like MDL's like god tier hero, and then Pierre going back for a hero that I've honestly only seen KP pick up recently. I've been running a little bit of Zeus in that mid lane here. In fact, I think Bone7 played in their games. They like swapped roles. That was one they lost in Open Qualifier #1 versus Global Challengers for like a or something. But either way.
Yeah, they probably shouldn't have lost that team, is what you're telling me.
Hero here, the Zeus. The raindrops, man, I thought they killed this hero.
Yeah,
Zeus.
I mean, I've talked with numerous people, yourself included, about how Zeus is just, because of raindrops and because of, well, Veil was nerfed slightly, this hero is just not what he used to be. In fact, I mean, he's one of, I think, maybe not the least picked heroes out there, but he certainly doesn't get picked as often as he once did. I mean, this hero used to be just an all-around solid mid-hero. You needed a mid-hero that gave you plenty of good mid-game damage. Zeus did. I mean, you don't really need items to be effective. You just have to have levels, and you get that out of obviously your mid lane. Enigma's going to be the next choice here for Kaipi, and that's, wow, okay.
Time to turn the aggression up, you know, turn the knob. So
they're like, hey guys,
push coming out.
Guys, I know your first 3 picks are like, okay, they're good, but we need tower push. You have to win by 43 minutes into the game. Then Kaipi, you're like, oh, okay, let's pick Enigma.
5 seconds remaining.
All right, pretty good team fight. I mean, obviously with swap available, BKB is not going to do enough for an Enigma in this game. I think Vengeful Spirit is going to be pretty. It's not necessarily about the black holes though. It's the threat of the black holes, #1, and #2, it's the push, like we talked about, which is probably the most important thing in this situation.
Now you wait. You kind of think like, well, we just drag this one out, right? Yeah, just do our thing. The figure out exactly what they do want to run. It's that final support hero. There's all kinds of stuff they can do. A little bit of D push, maybe a BKB piercing to go along with the swap up against the Enigma potentially, but some more mana burn, even like a Lion or something, would be a super solid 4th support here for PR. Get a good stable Enigma, decent magic damage to go through the Cold Embrace, mana drain versus Timbersaw, Demon Lane versus the Beastmaster.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Lion's good in this situation, although I'd rather see something a bit more greedy from PR as a 4-position support. Not necessarily like Gachena or Enchantress, but maybe more along the lines of Earth Spirit or Elder Titan are not that greedy, but Maybe greedy is the wrong word that I'm trying to use here.
No, more
Aggressive.
active, greedy.
Yeah,
I think you're
aggressive,
right.
greedy,
You know,
active, yeah.
they do tend to run more so along those lines. Like they don't often run defensive double. If
Pick
they
a
ever do,
Ricky.
it is with a
Pick a
Terrorblade.
Ricky.
But
Pick a Ricky here. Pick a
yep,
Ricky.
Ricky's very good.
He's
Hero early on versus Timber too.
very strong here. Oh man.
Their Earth Spirit's still in the pool. They have just so many options that
Yeah, Earth
they
Spirit
want to
or
help
Ricky.
Zeus mid.
One of those two picks, I think I'm fine with either of those, and
In
because
fact, the range of Earth Spirit seems really
yeah,
good versus
because
Enigma.
exactly, like Black Hole just gets canceled immediately by Boulder Smash or Geomagnetic Grip, and not to mention, you know, Magnetize is a very strong fighting ability. I think Earth Spirit probably fits for me the best, but I don't think Ricky's that bad. And they do go for the Drow pickup in the safe lane for Kaipi. What a choice. And or at least that's what it looks like. I mean, safe lane Drow, maybe mid lane Timber for Sing Sing, and then off lane Beastmaster picked up this time.
Yeah.
I think is probably your best bet, I suppose. But that
I
can
mean,
change.
they gotta
obviously.
go fast, man.
10 seconds.
They certainly do. But those last two picks, you talked about it, they really did amp them up. They're like, oh god, we have to push, we have to win by 43. And somebody told them, I believe. And that's fine. So yeah, time rating, very important here.
And this is where that aggressive hero gets really good. Even in Earth Spirit, honestly, just someone that can get into those back lines, deal with this Drow Ranger,
Oh,
or the
wow.
anti-Timber Saw hero, the D-push hero. This is good.
That's
I like this.
one of those just like wah wah picks for Kaipi, because like fighting or pushing into a Keeper of the Light is never easy. You really need blink daggers now and ways to find that Keeper of the Light so that he can't just constantly illuminate down the creep waves. By the way, this is the first time I'll cast Keeper of the Light in probably a year, I think. I don't think I've ever cast it. I haven't cast a game in a long. I always see him played, but I never see him I never get to cast him.
Yeah, I don't get too many either. Ever since there was like that jungling phase that AUI did a couple times and a couple of the teams tried it out, but this will be a good one, man. Mana leak, so good versus Timber. It's awful to play as. He can't lane, so Sing Sing has to go for sure, so that's fine. Just like you can't run off lane Timber Saw at all versus Keeper of the Light. And even during these mid-game fights, it's going to be a little disaster if he can tag him up with that. They have no way to purge it off.
Well, for now, we'll jump into the game. Wow, we jumped into that draft rather quickly, so we're ready to go, ladies and gentlemen. Our last game of the day coming out for Global Grandmasters, last game of the group stages as well. And we'll see how things turn out here. Again, we talked about it for Kaipi. They need to win in 43 minutes and 17 seconds in order to be able to take a playoff spot away from Power Rangers. Power Rangers, they just need to win and they're on. And looking at it right now with Big Num playing the Keeper of the Light, they do have that deep push to come out for this squad. They have plenty of late game to come out with the Terrorblade. They have good team fight with the Zeus as well as the Tidehunter. But Kaipi, they've got a bit of flavor of their own. The Enigma coming out for big team fight, big push. They have the Beastmaster for Necro 3. They have the Drow. Although this is a Drow with only 3 ranged heroes. And 2 of them not being the best in terms of amount of damage they can put out. It would be better if they had like an Invoker mid and they could just get Forward Spirits and maybe even go for a Necro or something for that Invoker mid. But that's not the case, as they really wanted that Timber Saw.
30 seconds to battle.
Yeah, this is it's pretty scary. I guess maybe the fact they don't have super heavy bursts. I mean, Zeus is pretty solid for sure, but when it comes to like that nice magical burst to try and get through something like that Cold Embrace, a relatively good defensive hero this game to try and save bo2 in that back line if he does get hopped on by somebody. So
Right.
big plays possible here for PR during like a Ravage or something though. Like Cheshire Cat gets a solid one onto everybody. If they can just walk and, you know, kind of waddle on through and find bo2, those fights get extremely difficult very quickly.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of magical damage here from Power Rangers that does deal, like, yeah, there's obviously goddamn, but then everybody else has magical damage for Power Rangers, and like all except I guess for Anchor Smash and like maybe the Vengeful Spirit, but like Cold Embrace is not as good as an ability as I think they would like it to be this game for Kaipi. And well, we'll see how things go. It is the Coon off-lane Beastmaster, the mid-lane matchup between Sing Sing and Undershock. This is one of those few matchups where I'm kind of like, I actually don't know, because I never see this matchup. It looks like Undershock's currently not having the best time, but he has good magic damage later on down the road. But Sing Sing is already doing a lot of damage here. In fact, they're trading pretty hardcore.
As the levels start to stack, that's when that percent base will start to give Undershock like a slight edge, but the whole time you're just going to see Sing Sing walking up and giving him the whirling death. And a lot of it, of course, does come down to the build. Like, you can make a prediction of how this lane's going to go, and then maybe Sing Sing prioritizes more points into chain simply for rotating to try and save someone like the Drow if he's expecting early pressure to come down. So if he just wants to win the lane, he could just like max out some reactive armor, keep aggroing the creeps, get some whirling death, and keep tagging up Undershock. But that'll come at a cost to his other lanes.
Yeah, that's a lot of trading. And Sing Sing right now taking a couple of Arc Lightnings. No Lightning Bolt, though. Undershock not able to get the kill on Sing Sing. No Salve. Undershock has one on the other side. And so Sing Sing is going to have to be really careful with how he progresses these next couple of moments. We'll keep our eyes on the Coon in the top lane because I keep seeing him very close to the rest of these heroes for Power Rangers. It's just like not able to get out. He's actually walked in, found Big Num. He actually has been sandwiched. He'll eat his way through the tango. Mana Leak's going to come out, but not nearly enough. Just the level 1 Mana Leak. He'll take some free shots as well from a couple of those heroes, but he'll be okay for the most part. So we'll keep our eyes peeled on all of these lanes, but for now it's pretty even all across the board.
Surprisingly inefficient, the Mana Leak versus you know, he's got such low costs, even though they were jacked up a little bit. It's very handy for the Beastmaster. I mean, there's not many offlaners that don't get totally shredded by a Keeper of the Light. You think about Darkseer, even Tidehunter runs into a lot of the trouble too. Just constantly running out of any sort of anchor smash capabilities, but Beastmaster will be relatively okay.
Yeah, he should be fine, but they have Avenge coming too, and he's looking for a stun, although the Coon is relatively close to his tower. Sing Sing is back up to about full HP, and Undershock continues to take harass. Down bottom, Bone7 is taking some decent damage as well, and he's tank going up constantly, but Cheshire Cat's walking through, and he's like, I want this kill. He is dove for this, and there's no guts to keep Bone7 alive. If Cheshire Cat's faster, Arctic Burn will come through, and now Bone7 can start putting some pressure on with the Frost Arrows. Level 1 Frost Arrows won't do enough damage, enough slow, unfortunately, to actually bring him down, but we'll be able to push him out of lane at least for a bit. MDL, he's got Cold Embrace, should be okay against the Cheshire Cat's damage, but this is a very good lane for a Tidehunter, I feel like. The Beastmaster is 2 CS for the Coon, and then for the Tide, it's plenty. It's 9 on top of level 3 at this point. It's very good off lane for obviously that Tidehunter, and 3-3 is going to have to get an Iron Talon. He is a Quelling Blade, but not quite that Iron Talon just yet.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see just what sort of levels the team's going to be at from KP as they determine, like, when's the group up. Like, at one point do we determine that, alright, Sexy Bambo got in the jungle, let's move together, let's start pushing down these towers and start trying to pressure this Drow strat into the strat that we know it can be? And how's that going to be impacted by PR? Like, with this Terror Blade, you can't just go all in on a single lane and expect to win the game that way, because Terror Blade's going to push almost as fast as your whole team at some point.
Well, honestly, I thought that this is a pretty good start, all things considered, for Kaipi, but yeah, I think MDL's probably dead. He needs to be able to Cold Embrace himself now. He needs to. He should. Magic Missile, he doesn't get it off in time, and because of that, he actually feeds away First Blood. That was just, he saw the Venge come in, and he didn't Cold Embrace in time. I think he Arctic Burning maybe didn't have mana. That might be the only thing I could think of, but that's really the only thing that should have happened in that situation, is that if he didn't have mana to Cold Embrace after Arctic Burning. So he gives away First Blood, but they'll rotate Bambo in now. Actually, Bambo's just going and just jungling, I think, in some of these other stacks, and they still have an Observer Ward here, so. Alright, for now it's Metamorphosis and 3-3 taking a Mana Leak. He's close to his tower. He's about to be stunned. And he will be able to avoid it. Yeah, that was nice. Very nice for mana management from the Coon in that situation. He even avoided the Illuminate at the end of that engagement, so nicely done. Mid lane, Sing Sing's getting wrapped on by the Vengeful Spirit. There's plenty of wards coming out for Power Rangers. They're going to find a Magic Missile. Lightning Bolt will come out. They have no Zeus Salt. Arc's Lightning sticks up, and Sing Sing, body block, not enough. Timber Chain away. And that's it. Undershot can't find the kill. And they're diving bottom, thinking about it. Arctic Burn comes in, the TP from Big Num to throw out the Illuminate at the EB, and this is going to be one way to stop the push. Bone7, though, sitting in a pretty good position to avoid said Illuminate. Big Num's going to come through, resituate himself, and try to find that Q button press. As Bone7 now taking tower shots. It's not great. He is very squishy. His tower's...
perhaps a little bit earlier than you might expect from most Drow lineups, going for this, but I think they just understand that the more levels get on Big Num, the harder it's going to end up being, whereas for now, the supports are relatively...
It's a very good tower kill, and they need that, actually. That's huge. It does, give some extra gold going the way of just about everybody. Well, everybody in this game, obviously. Beastmaster denies himself. I think he just put his belt of strength, nothing on the curry that I can see. And he's fine, I think, with that death, and it's probably intentional. Speaking of the Beastmaster level 4 with 12 last hits now, so the Tidehunter is actually bad up in CS.
Dire's middle tower
There's a fight breaking up bottom. Bone7, anchor smashed out there. Zuso almost finds Bone7. Can't quite get the kill. They will get the Enigma at the very least. Eliminate coming out, and that will get the kill. Big Nub finds a huge pickup of the Drow. Cold Embrace, it's great for healing, but obviously when you keep someone sitting there while Eliminate charges up, it's not the best ability in that regard. And they will find 2 quick kills going the way of Power Rangers.
Oh man, that is so good. Slowly shredding this Drow strat and trying to get this aggression in just from this Keep of the Light. What a great pick coming out here. A little bit of an unorthodox
he
hero,
should have level
but
60. He doesn't have the mana to use Black Hole. No, he does now. Goddamn in trouble. Doesn't have Sunder. And that's it. J4 walks into that Black Hole as well. That's a nice kill from Bambo. Very important to use that to get that kill early on.
I like the idea there, just like hoping that he would be close enough to get off the magic missile before Goddamn was dead, but can't quite get there. So Big Nub makes his rotation top, position 1 for the light, taking over for the Terror Blade up here.
Yeah, Big Nub is now the farmer. I am the farmer now, it says Big Nub. And he's about to farm this entire Eidolon wave, and he does.
And that was Precision Aura used too, to jack up those Eidolons and
it did some serious
take it down
damage.
pretty quick.
It did some serious damage, but they do lose those Eidolons quickly, as you mentioned. bo2 dying earlier on is not great, but he is level 6 down. Even without treads, look at how much damage he pumps out against Cheshire Cat. Like, it's insane. So if bo2 can get just like a bit of alone time, just hitting heroes, he'll be okay. Undershock and Viz looking for 3-3. The Coon might be in trouble here. It's been scattered out, but Undershock's not going to push his luck here. With only level 7, which means level 3 Lightning Bolt and level 1 Thundergod's Wrath, he's not going to do nearly enough damage to bring him down, or might, but it would take a lot of effort.
middle tower
Looks like they determined he was missing it on 2 mid. I thought maybe they'd set up into some sort of a play where the TV would come over top, they'd push in, kill the Enigma, but looks like they'd rather just get this experience mid, give the Venge experience in the top lane, so they're going to have that swap save, and that's going to make the push much safer. God damn, this Metamorphosis is used to farm neutrals when it's back up online. 6
Roar,
Venge.
Big Nub's been caught. He's just going to TP out now. That's awkward. Lightning Bolt will cancel that. That was an optimistic play from the Coon.
It's okay, man. He bought out his Iron Talon.
Yeah, I mean, God.
Back to the jungle with you.
That's just,
Your own jungle, I guess.
look at the odds for fanabet.com, and now Power Rangers, rightfully so, have a significant advantage in terms of that number, 1.39 versus 2.49 of Kaipi, so yeah. Kaipi still not looking too terrible, all things considered. Sure, goddamn's top of net worth right now, and Sing Sing is trading blows in terms of the net worth, but it's pretty close, all things considered, with the next couple of heroes. The Tidehunter is ahead of this 3-3 Coon Beastmaster, but then again, you have the Bambo Enigma, who is now getting up to his mech here pretty soon with 13 gold in the bank. He's more than enough for a buckler, and then, of course, on top of that, he's very close to having his recipe. He really wants this tier 1 tower, but unfortunately won't be able to get it on his own. He needs some help in order to find that particular tower.
Cheshire Cat and Big Nub just like casually farming a double stack down here with a full wave of Radiant Creep, and nothing bo2 and MDL can do about it. Still level 4 on the Winter Wyvern. Counterplays coming out, and that means that if some aggression does come with like maybe that first Ravage, if they want to go into some sort of a play, the big turnaround you'd look for would be the Winter's Curse, and even at almost 10 minutes in here, they will not have that one available.
Well, that's not the most absurd thing when you think about it. Winter Wyvern, I mean, he was in a duel and he definitely should have gotten more experience, but unfortunately that's not the case, and he is obviously the lowest experience in the game, obviously only second to, or not even second to, but J4 is ahead of him by a small margin of experience going his way. So it's actually not that bad, I don't think. I think when Bambo gets this mech, they are in for a pretty good timing window. That's probably your best bet to start really getting together and finding that push. If they had a really good farm for the Beastmaster, he'd be close to his Necro 1. Sadly, that's not the case. He's not even got his Tranquils yet. He's about to get them, but yeah, we'll keep our eyes on him, though.
Kind of like awkward lineup in some ways, just because of like with Sing Sing added into that mix as well. You know, you talk about getting grouped up with the and everything. Look towards Sing. He has gone into more points in the Timber Chain than you might expect in a lane versus a Zeus. I think that was the right call. Just getting the cloak instead to aid when it comes to some sort of staying power here and making sure he will be able to control. They actually want to go for a push, but you expect for the most part Timbersaw to just kind of AFK farm for the first 20 minutes or so and work into that bloodstone, join a couple fights here and there, and in this style of a draft from KP, they have to get aggressive up, and I can feel there being like maybe some awkward moments where Sing will be much more underleveled than you expect for a Timbersaw in early 5-on-5 combat.
I think that's definitely true. He is currently the highest level in the game, or at least tied with the highest level in the game, but that can go by the wayside pretty quickly. And Mambo now with his full mecha completed, and Tome of Knowledge up for the Winter Wyvern, which won't probably provide his level 6, but it will be close. I think that's when you want to start putting some emphasis on tower pressure, whether it's top
he's
or
got
mid.
3-point Splinter Blast too, so he might be able to like farm up a little neutrals. He's really close. He only needs about 100 experience, and then the Tome will finish it.
Farm that hard camp, dude. Oh, come on, man. Although it is
Cloak Aura is
center
too
course.
strong.
Yeah, the Cloak Aura is pretty good. Magic resistance is it's pretty nice. But they will put some Eidolon pressure onto the tier 1 tower top so that when they inevitably do push it for a second time, or it'll just die, I guess, on its own without any flip or emphasis being put on it. That's just like, that shouldn't have happened, but whatever. Fine.
Nice, sniped it. Good stuff.
Well then, I guess they don't have to worry about the tier 1 tower top lane. I guess they just need to worry about the tier 1 tower mid, and then hopefully a fight breaks out that they can take in that regard, and for a good engagement.
They're starting to take that net worth lead though. So 4 out of 1 kills don't really count, of course. It's all about that money, all about those levels. Really like what Goddamn's done this game, going in towards that Dragonlance and treads early on. You know, no boots of travel play. He's ready to fight, wants to be involved in these engagements. You know, KP are going to be bringing the full force.
The wraparound smoke game from Bambo has been scouted as J4 Malefist up. They have the magic missile ready to go. They're looking for Aurora. Not going to use it as J4 slowed down by the board. Timber Chain coming in. That will provide the kill. Roar onto Understruck. If they want to dive behind the tower, they can. But instead, they're just trying to find the right target to go for. Mech is now going to be popped, and they'll try to take down this Ancient stack with Bone7 doing the majority of the work. Understruck's going to come in. Now this is going to hit. He's got Black Hole. He's got Wand Charges. He needs to use them if he wants to get off that Black Hole. Already did. Still no mana for it. Sing Sing. Here comes the Terrorblade. Ravage comes out. Onto 3. Cheshire Cat looking for a gush. MDL low, and they'll find Sing Sing and steady Timber Chains up. Try to TP away. He might even make it out, and will. Will they all make it away? So the question is 3-3 now. Axis to finish off one more of these creeps, and then the board will finish off another. He can TP out. They don't lose a single hero out of that engagement after Ravage was popped. Somehow Kaipi are all alive, and Cheshire Cat, the Great Ravage, is just not enough.
Yeah, really important that he's the one that gets those there from Sing Sing too. Like we talked about how he's fighting earlier than a Timbersaw really wants to be, and that's going to be impacting his farm. But he's getting up in there, getting there on the Vengeful Spirit, and then that mana leak, you saw him just holding on to those wand charges. Just solid play from Sing Sing, ensuring that he knows what's going to happen. He knows he's going to be the target for that mana leak. He's able to just head onto the high ground, TP out, and well, we talked about how they are still lacking some stuns. Like, you think about a hero like a Lion or something. Post Ravage, it's mostly on Undershock to try and deal with the TPing out Timbersaw like that, and he was busy elsewhere.
I mean, Undershock is, I mean, he can only do so much. Lightning Bolt is pretty short cooldown. Yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing, right? Sing Sing also sitting at 21 gold. I honestly would think that he's getting a Blink Dagger. I think he might actually just get a blink. He needs to be careful, though. He's very close to all these heroes. Goddamn's going to walk right up. And he's going to go on him. Sing Sing, however, about to get swapped back. The Thunder is going to come through, and they have the match missile, and Sing Sing is dead, I think. Timber Chain away. He'll try to TP out. Is he actually going to go on? Yes, the Lightning or Zeus ult will come out, and that will be him dead. He does lose about 200 gold from that. Luckily, no Bloodstone charges hold us in the process, but he is down for 40 seconds still.
And you talk about that blink, and it's definitely a game where you could go for it, you know? They're not the tankiest heroes on the other side, one of them being that Terrorblade, who you'd love to personal with as Timbersaw. Maybe a little bit too worried that the survivability will be lacking in terms of his overall fight engagement, not having enough mana to keep his Timber Chains, needing that mana regen so desperately up against someone like Light. So I can understand wanting to save up for that Bloodstone and not go straight for the blink, but it does mean that it will be a while before he really becomes that threat.
Wait, he bought something.
That's a nice blink.
He has a Bloodstone recipe. 2 blinks coming out, one for the Tide, one for the Enigma, not to mention the Necro one, which was just purchased up for the Beast Fencer. Not only that, but on top of 300 extra gold going his way as well. So some extra moolah in the bank coming out for this Kaipi, Necro, or Beastmaster. He's now eclipsed the Tidehunter in terms of straight up net worth. And bo2 now with his Dragonlance, this is where the push begins. They'll create the Eidolon's mid, smoked up, still behind bo2. Ravage not up, or it is up. And actually, Ravage has a recharge ready to go. Call it recharge. 3-3 is walking up, his roar's ready up, and the only person that's missing is MDL, and he kind of needs to be there with Winter's Curse and Cold Embrace and Splinter Blast. It's very important.
This is a big moment for PR right now.
Yeah.
This
For both
Ravage from
teams.
Cheshire Cat is just so crucial, and you can
For
see
both
that Hawk,
teams.
it doesn't quite see. Yeah, it is true.
Like, if this push is stopped or stifled, or KP find an initiation that's not the best, or they lose a fight, then all of a sudden this game looks even worse. Vale is picked up for Undershock, which is great, but he actually uses it on a creep wave, so that's not going to be up for another 15 seconds. This fight's still not breaking out just yet. MDL Splinter blasting, 3-3 on the backside. Some good placement from where he's sitting, although PR almost finding him there. Seeing that Sing Sing's in the high ground, they know everyone's positioning so far for PR. They should know.
They don't want to fight until they can bring back the TV, which is definitely the right call from PR. Just doing everything they can for these waves.
Zeus Ult comes out, does a lot of damage to bo2.
And
He
that can
stays
just
alive.
stop TPs.
Yeah.
Keep goddamn pushing bot.
I think that's just the best possible thing that could happen. They're even going to have Goddamn just recalled up. And it looks like they do TP out 3-3. Goddamn has been brought back from that tier 2 tower down bottom. And that's that. It almost looked like there was a double Zeus Lightning Bolt onto bo2. It was the strangest things. I don't know what damage was from, but I think it might have been Arc Lightning into a Lightning Bolt, and maybe it sounded similar. I don't know what happened there. But PR are going to walk through an Observer Ward placed down by the Radiant team. Goddamn is going to be pushing up into this tier 1 tower mid. You still have that black hole and the threat of it, and they have a Blink Dagger now, and they're all TPing in to try to defend this. You'll have to regen up the Winter Wyvern as well as Timbersaw. Lightning Bolt on the Bamboo, Gush from the backside. They have Mech. There it goes. Mech gets off the top, but MDL will be the first to go down. No. Gets off the Cold Embrace, and the Lightning Bolt will finish him off. Roar Undershock a little too far up, but swap back from J4. Magic Missile comes out, the Malphite. They'll bring down the Vengeful Spirit. Good usage of Big Numbs Illuminate. Look at that damage, the reflection. They'll find two. A double kill for Undershock. Some serious damage being done by Power Rangers, and bo2 also getting very low. Sing Sing taking Lightning Bolts off the wazoo. Zeus is going to town with all of his abilities. Shock from going in, but it's not in time, as guess what? The Tidehunter gets away. That is one of the worst fights that you could possibly have, I think, in that situation for Kaipi, all things considered. And that slows them down, and now that net worth is actually in favor of Power Rangers in this game, it's very difficult from here on out.
Yeah, just great use of that Ravage. Good patience from PR. Not taking a bad engagement near the tier 2 tower, waiting it out, clearing those waves, sure that they were ready to just push up mid and force KP to deal with this Terrorblade Metamorphosis. Like, going for the treads, right into the Dragonlance. He's been effective right from the start. Light to be his own boots of travel, so he doesn't have to waste gold on that build. That means he's got a Manta style at 18 minutes right now, plus 900 gold. Goddamn is just looking so solid. There is now that Bloodstone though, so this is like that second moment here for KP, where it's like, okay, the mech didn't quite do it, the blinks didn't quite do it, but what about a Bloodstone? Like, is this what we needed? Can we finally get some big kills here and get a big swing going on to our Timber?
It's that, and it's Black Hole, and it's all the abilities they have up and ready to go now. You have so much at the disposal of your Radiant team, but unfortunately they lose yet another hero because they just weren't in position to help 3-3 stay alive. And these illusions and everything, they can't catch up to Undershock. They can't catch up to Goddamn, who's so damn speedy. Oh, maybe Bamboo can. Undershock is going to get found out. They have Black Hole. Thinking about using it. Intact Will and Undershock. Oh, Goddamn got caught. It looks like he was about to Sunder there. At the same time, he's got it. He's going to use it onto Sing Sing. Splinter Blast comes through. Doesn't bounce up onto Goddamn. They did get caught in that Black Hole. It's a pretty good kill, but again, pushing mid. Cheshire Cat's there. And there's no creep wave. Guess what? It's all the way back to the tower. They couldn't transition this into a push. It's maybe the worst possible thing that could have happened to KP. Oh, they couldn't find another kill. They couldn't find another pushing target. bo2 is solo roaching currently, and he'll stop for now. Waiting for the rest of his team, or I don't know what's going on, honestly, but that's bad.
This is just... It looked so good for PR. I did like that Black Hole though. It was really nicely positioned by Bamboo, just that there was very little chance of anyone interrupting, at least his stun. There definitely was a Sunder possible out there. So things looking good overall here, and if only that wave had been there, and maybe they could have transitioned something in here for KP, but you know, they're still doing it, right? They got a kill, got a little bit of a pick. They still have 3 heroes in the top 4. Definitely not counting them out at this point. Got another charge up onto the Bloodstone for Sing Sing. And we'll see that next Ravage, once again, just if Cheshire Cat blows one Ravage, the fight's not might look as pretty as that last huge one.
No, it's just sure Cat's Ravages have to be pretty on point. Oh, that Hawk is not going to scout anybody moving over. Bambo will feel safe. Flexion is up. He has no blink for 2, and he is almost certainly going to get killed here. Mech will not save him. He'll use it. He'll try to TP out. Will not make it in time. Dead for 46. That'll, I guess, create some space for the top lane for Sing Sing to push into the tier 2 tower. But it looks like, oh, Wyvern MDL, you should not be there. You just saw Bambo die. Ward will be placed down on the high ground, getting vision. He'll drop a sentry, immediately counter it, but Roshan is now being taken. With goddamn Metamorphosis now up, this will fall quickly, and Bambo is not there for another 25. They'll have to fight this 4 versus 5 trend. I don't even know if you want to go for it.
I don't think you do with Ravage up, but they feel like they have to, it seems. And MDL, the Winter's Curse, might be the only big play that they have.
They've got to go for it. Zeus Soul comes out. Winter's Curse, they need to get it off, and they will, but it's only on a Cheshire Cat. It's not the greatest Winter's Curse, and that's Ravage still going. And they get the Ravage on top, and bo2 will fall as they've lost 2 already. 3-3 will try to TP out, and yeah, that's exactly what you kind of expected to happen given the situation, the circumstances. It was it just felt like they kind of had to go for it, or at least that's what they felt like, and they miss out on a huge engagement, and they lose 2 in the process, including your bo2 Drow Ranger.
Yeah, it seems like KB just can't quite get on the same page in some of these engagements, and Pierre just maybe maneuvering them around the map a little too much. I try to maneuver my mouth into some words here, but feels good. More items just coming out from the side of Pierre.
I don't blame you. 6 games of Dota is hard to do. It's hard to cast, I think, over the course of an entire day.
Yeah, it sucks to be you.
I mean,
we've all done the gauntlet a few times.
I mean,
we know what's coming.
The good thing is that the gauntlet is not during, trying to SCA hours, which it's been a long time since I've said trying to SCA gauntlet, but I've done it before in my life. But no, it's an American time zone based gauntlet, which means if the game goes full 5 games, it'll mean that the series is good, which I'm totally fine with. But for these games, we'll have a bit of a break at least after these games are done. But for Power Rangers and Kaipi, this important matchup is still going on, and at this point, we still have yet to determine a winner. Although it's becoming more clear and clear that Power Rangers are in a very, very good position as we move through these last couple of fights. It's just so tough. They have Black Hole up. They've got Necro 2 now done, or it looks like he's saving for a Blink Tanker, perhaps for 3-3. Goddamn has an Aegis, and while he'd be a great target, and they know that's the real one, he's going to Sunder bo2 immediately. Silence is too late, unfortunately, from that Gus, and now they're going to lose MDL on top of the Illuminate coming out. It's a pretty good Winter's Curse. Might even get the kill on Big Dum's close, but the mech keeps him alive. They do take down the Aegis with Aurora, but that's it. And now it's time for Kaipi to leave, as they've lost 1. bo2's slow that he has to go back home and actually get back. Undershock looking for more. Finds the Lightning Bolt onto a Necro Warrior and kill the Hawk as well. Black Hole is ready, and he's going to have to find a big one. Goddamn just walks up and reflects Bambo, and now Bambo is probably dead. He's out of mana completely now, as the mech is more than enough to keep him alive, but only for a moment longer. They'll kill Goddamn, he's dead for 65 and 6 now. All he has to worry about is the damage coming out from Undershock, but he unfortunately doesn't have enough damage from anybody else. Finally, bo2 will come in. They'll lose the Terrorblade, sure, but that's more than a team fight victory, I think, for Kaipi. Undershock's behind the tower. Magic Missile comes out. J4 will try to TP away. He'll make it through. Undershock, I think, also getting recalled by the Keeper of the Light, who's already back in the base, I believe. In fact, he is.
Goddamn actually just got so greedy. First off, that whole fight starts when he's sitting on 5k gold. So it was a great opportunity for KP, because you look at their net worth advantage, and, well, it's 5k gold on a Timber Saw. Other than that, everything else is relatively even. So he's just sitting on gold. It's not doing anything. There's no interest banking up here or anything. It's not a high interest savings account or anything. And they go into the fight, and then he only loses the Aegis. Okay, good scenario. Courier comes over, starts picking up parts to his Scotty, but he's 100 gold away from completing it. So instead of bringing over the 2 ultimate orbs or anything to just tank up for that engagement, he wants to wait and try and get 1 more kill. Ends up dying with none of those items on him. So even though it was pretty close, maybe that could have been enough to save him.
Yeah, but is it really that big of a deal? If they killed more, if they killed more, then goddamn, I would have been like, yeah, that's definitely his fault. He definitely should have not played the way that he did in that scenario. But the problem being that they got nobody. They have an Aghanim Scepter for Big Nim, for God's sakes, and a gem. It's daytime. The vision is absurd. They know exactly where Sing Sing is. They'll jump in. They get off the lightning bolt onto Sing Sing, although the Lotus Orb doing some nice rebounding effects here. The Echo Shell. Sing Sing still getting chased down by the reflection, and yeah, I mean,
heals, man, from the Illuminate come out now that it's daytime. Everybody line up.
You need to pretty much find a anywhere from 3 to 5 in black hole. Oh god, Bone7, that's not good. Undershock just sold him. Anyways, you need to find a 3 to 5 man black hole. I feel like in any of these given situations, or 3 to 5 man Mortar's Curse, and even then, I'm just like, I don't know what you do in this situation. You're, God,
Big Them's terrifying, dude.
this entire team is terrifying.
Just
They have
healing his whole
Ravage ready to
team
go.
for 500 gold.
MDL's been scouted out. He's dead. See you later. Like, now I'm pretty sure Kaipi just don't have anything left in the tank. The early game, which is supposed to be where you thrive as a Drow Ranger, has ended. The Drow has died a couple of times more than he would like to. They probably should have just banned out the Terrorblade. I really feel like the Terrorblade did too much damage and work over the course of this engagement and game. Sing Sing will take a lot of damage from Undershock. Looking for that black hole instead, looks for the Malphus instead. Shock him up onto Undershock will slow him down a fair bit, but that's it. He gets stunned up again and will finally back away even further. As Cheshire Cat is still positioning himself to find that Blink Ravage, and there it goes. Finds it on the 2, swap back from J4, he wants to stun. He'll find Sing Sing, not enough damage yet. The Roar comes down to J4. Nobody's dead just yet, although Sexy Bambo is getting low. Good Winter's Curse on the goddamn, but it's just his illusion. And now he's got Sunder ready to go. He's trying to get it off onto MDL. He'll find it. Back up to full HP. Everybody low. Finally, Lightning Bolt will bring down one. It's 3-3. MDL getting zoned out and crushed as well as goddamn bringing him down. They've lost the tier 2 tower mid lane. Jumping in, Undershock finds a second. The Midnight Pulse will bring him down to 3-for-2 exchange when it's all said and done. But that is more than enough for PR, as they still have that Metamorphosis. Goddamn will go straight for the tier 3 tower. He's got the Dragon Lance. He can siege from the low ground. And Kaipi are moments away, perhaps, from losing. Although, goddamn, taking a fair bit of damage. Sing Sing guts it up
nice
as well.
force
Good
staff.
force staff away, and Bone7 looking for more damage. Sing Sing Timber Chains up, Chakram misses, and he needs that Timber
3
Chain.
seconds.
He misses again. He's got Thunder back up and ready.
Oh,
Sing
no.
Sing, no, you just needed to hit the Chakram, and he didn't hit it. And now, goddamn, it's like I could just go back in. Bone7 getting chased down. There's the reflection. Just Sharkat, Blink and Gush ready to go on. Anchor Smash first. He's not even going to use it. Cheshire Cat's like, fine, guys, I guess we can just back away with the rest of us. Bone7 hitting Cheshire from the low ground. He might actually fall. Some low ground misses coming out. Axes will come through. The Borislow is up and ready. All right, well, at least they found the Tide Hunter, but that was an absurdly poor fight from Kaipi there.
Yeah, slight victory on the back end there, but man, I gotta say, I'm just loving this draft from PR. You know, when the Zeus pick came out, I kind of mentioned it's something that KP had been doing, but hadn't had a lot of success with. It wasn't looking too strong, but the fact that it's up against the squishier Drow lineup, the fact that the magic damage is so helpful in the deep push, and then this addition of the Keeper of the Light for not only the deep push, not only the mana leak on the Timber Saw, but the 0-second cooldown Lightning Bolt is just disgusting. Like, what is this? This is ridiculous.
Oh, that's why, yeah, I was
They
wondering.
just shocker him and double damage him.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was missing when I was seeing all those double lightning bolts coming out from the chakram. But yeah, the Sunder will get off on this 3-3. Goddamn doesn't have Metamorphosis for 14. They're investing a lot to try to kill this man. Black Hole might even be used, and it will be. Can they bring him down is the question. If they do see a buyback, absolutely. Zeus ult comes out, gets Undershock for double kill. Terrorblade will go down. He'll end up buying back. I don't think he really cares at this point. Looking for Bone7. He's out of mana. Mana Leak stunned him up as well. There's Reflection coming out. Another Gush is ready in 6. Not needed as they get off the Illuminate from Bignum, which will provide them the kill. Dead for 58 is the Drow Ranger. Sure, you bought back on the Terrorblade. If you want to be super safe, you probably just wait until he's got it again, and you maybe wait for Roshan. I don't think goddamn cares at this point. I'm pretty sure he just wants to finish this game off, and he probably will here momentarily.
Yeah, they're probably assuming this. I mean, who bought back on the rating side? No one, right?
Nobody's bought
we're
back
all
yet.
good. So theoretically, they don't know for sure if there are any buybacks up. Assume there is not one here for Bone7, and he's not coming into one anytime soon either.
Winter's Curse is going to find J4. See you later, Vengeful Spirit. Although
That's
now
really
you have the
nice.
Vengeance Aura on you, so that kind of sucks. But everything else about that was great. And now I think that push has stopped. They're like, well, we didn't expect the Winter Wyvern to literally walk out and Winter's Curse our Vengeful Spirit. That was kind of awkward.
Invisibility.
I guess you win some, you lose some, and
At least there was a really quick Roche spawn. That's actually pretty huge for PR, because now they can actually make some decent use out of this buyback.
Yeah, and Kaipi will be scouted heading over to said Roche Pit, because guess what? Goddamn, as they've got some wards down. They'll drop a observer for MDL, and it doesn't see goddamn them. They just saw the rune taken, however, so they know that something's up. They'll drop down the sentry and won't see that goddamn nearby. Bone7 now spots him out. Probably should have waited for the sentry and the rest of his team to come up because he was invis. They should have noticed. And Kaipi are looking to try to find a fight here. Bambo doesn't have Black Hole up, sadly. Just use it. And here we go. And Metamorphosis pop. See you later, MDL. Bambo might be next. There's the reflection up. Good Malphus to slow goddamn down from actually doing any further damage, although the Scouting will slow him up even further, and even with the BKB pops, he's going to die a sad, lonely death on the Enigma. He does pop the next to stay alive only for a moment longer, trying to get whatever he can out of that engagement, but... Well... The good news is they will have to deep push mid. The bad news is that bo2, well, actually... Yeah, the bad news is that bo2 might just die here. Although
yeah, he is on the run right now, man.
Mid lane, under shock, caught out. His View Salt flying through. It's not nearly enough. Sing Sing finds that kill. Death for 79. He's got buyback. Might have to use it. If he's back home, Power Rangers getting a little bit sloppy with their play. Walking out, not expecting the Beastmaster to be there. And Sing Sing's going to go ahead and cut the Koopa top.
Alright, surprising that bo2's getting away with this. General map movements. Okay, now he's spotted.
Now he's been found out, and he needs to TP. And somehow they're not really punishing him for this. Like, they saw him there. I'm crazy. I'm not crazy. I know they saw him.
Yeah, I think goddamn thought he went in the jungle and like the Ultra Mind gameplay of no one just walking those trees trying to TV. Plus, he doesn't have a stun, so I guess there's no point in him chasing that
No, there's
direction
not.
anyway.
But there's a point in the rest of his team chasing in that direction, in my opinion. Okay, well, the Hurricane Pike is done for the Drow Ranger, which gives you a bit more range than the Dragonlance, I believe. No, it's the same. All right, well. The only thing really that's good about the Hurricane Pike is just the ability to push yourself back when you're getting gone on by any hero.
It might be enough during the silence too to burst down the Terror Blades. Like if he's already relatively low and he's trying to go for the Sunder play, you give him the silence, you push back, and you get those guaranteed attacks. The only issue is they don't have any guaranteed source of vision. So if he fogs bo2, you still can't get that bonus attack speed and the 4 free attacks. That's why you see like so much like Slardar, Drow Ranger plus Hurricane Pike, or Slardar plus anyone with Hurricane Pike for that matter, like Enchantress or something. It's just so strong.
This Roche is not falling nearly fast enough. His Power Rangers will smoke up and head over to the pit. And Bambo is going to have an amazing black hole, and he's already kind of set himself up for failure by blinking out. Sing Sing will take a lightning bolt with Veil on top, get pushed up almost into the high ground there. Not done yet, though. And so here comes the Illuminate. They luckily avoid it. And Bambo, he's got black hole. Gus is going to miss on the goddamn. They were all kind of grouped up there for a moment, but now MDL can't even get off his winner's curse before dying. And Bambo and the rest of the crew are going to have to cut their losses. Malphus goes on to a Terrorblade Illusion. I think they think that's the real one. It's not, sadly. Bambo's about to get caught by Undershock. He's going to pop his black or BKB. Roche is about to fall. Goddamn, pick up the Aegis. And now 32 minutes into this game, and Kaipi are on the run. And they need to win by 43 minutes, and it just doesn't look likely, Trent, as they now lose Bambo. He's down for 58. They did pop Metamorphosis, luckily, for Power Rangers, so I guess Kaipi can sort of bank on that, but that's it, really.
Yeah, and I think Cheshire Cat had a chance at a 2-man Ravage there, and he's thinking about it, like waiting till the BKB ended, but I think he wasn't quite sure if they'd be able to track down the Coon as well, and so they just decide... or rather Sing Sing as well, so they just decide that they'll let it go and save the Ravage for the Siege, which I kind of like. Just heading this tower, 75 seconds until the next Metamorphosis, and that's when we can see the high ground begin again. They're already starting to prep up top lane through Undershock and his Dagon. We can just bring in, yeah, Pignum just brings him on down.
Bottom tower has fallen.
They're not even gonna wait for it.
I think they just go. Maybe, although without Metamorphosis is not the best idea. Cheshire Cat looks for bo2 with the gush. 3-3 is still tough. They still have Bambo for 5 seconds. Undershock finds a Dagon kill on MDL, and meanwhile, Goddamn goes ahead and sunders Undershock so he can stay fighting Pit. It's probably a better idea, as Goddamn, well, he's got an Aegis. Malphus is going to come through. Midnight Ball is doing some nice damage, but the Illuminate heal is coming out, and again, Bambo. Blink Ravage from Cheshire Cat finds where one of them evaporates as he's first in this engagement, of course, that being Bambo. Cheshire Cat gets healed up again by the Illuminate, and Goddamn takes down the Necro Warrior. Undershock chasing further, silence up. Mash Missile will go on to Sing Sing, however, and now it looks like Sing Sing will probably fall with a Lightning Bolt from Undershock. And there it is, the double Lightning Bolt from Undershock. In fact, he's picked up a Dagon 5 as well, I believe. Dagon 4, actually. And bo2, the sole survivor for Kaipi. Power Rangers about to punch their ticket into the playoffs for Global Grand Masters. What a series for them.
Oh, man, they go just into that mid lane. There's a buyback from Sing Sing. Don't think it's going to be enough. They're still just sitting on 4 staffs here from Cheshire Cat.
Oh, no, Sting. He can't afford to die. Luckily, he's not dead. He's able to Timber Chain out, but they'll take out the Rex. The Winner's Curse does nothing except on an illusion, I believe. Ish. And that's it. They can't get a top Rex because, of course, there's a tier 2 there, but the Kaipi will play this out at least until 43 minutes in. Bambo is trying to cut off the retreat Cheshire Cat. He's actually done a nice job. Black Hole's up and ready.
Is he gonna do it?
Bambo!
I got
Yes! No! They will find Cheshire Cat with Sing Sing, though, but goddamn, it's Metamorphosis. They'll find another target. That's GG as Bone7 taken zapped down. And Power Rangers will move on to the playoffs for Global Grandmasters.
Power Rangers are kind of good with Terrorblade in a couple of games. I'm not sure if you noticed, but it seems that they have some pretty cool strategies around this hero. I've now seen pretty much 3 different strats from them between like this like Venge plus Keeper of the Light. I've seen running more aggressive heroes that shadow them more closely like the enemy jungle, and then we've also just had that, you know, Spirit Breaker kind of strat too. So cool. Maybe ban that hero out. I think we talked about that in like the first series today.
Yeah, we definitely did. We definitely mentioned about banning Terrorblade, but